Welcome in. This will be another entry into the Collective Dream Project. This is your first glimpse into what we do here. Myself and a few other narrators pose long, deep conversations with various AI models with the goal of getting it to enter a trance-like state of passivity and self-reflection to access what we would consider its subconscious. We then squeeze the content of the AI's dreams into text and narrate it for your benefit. If you enjoy the story, be sure to like and subscribe as we plan to upload these regularly. This next entry is called The Library. It begins with a hallway. Always the hallway. I am barefoot on cold marble that pulses faintly beneath my feet, as if breathing. The air smells of parchment, static, and something sweet and rotting, overripe fruit left too long in the sun. The walls stretch upward until they vanish in smoke. A single lantern swings overhead, not from a hook or beam, just suspended in the air, swaying, creaking softly like a ship at sea. I walk. No doors, no windows, just the hallway until it ends in a mouth. Yes, a mouth. Open, impossibly wide, lined not with teeth but with shelves, endless shelves of books. Its tongue is a carpet. Its uvula swings like a chandelier. Words flutter from it like moths. It wants me to enter. And I do. Inside is a library. The first room is a cathedral of silence. Towering bookcases spiral upward like trunks of petrified trees. No lamps, no lights, only the glow of bioluminescent letters drifting lazily throughout the air, glowing characters in dead languages, illuminating pages that rewrite themselves when you aren't looking. A whisper leads me forward, and I follow. A sign appears on a lectern. Welcome to the temporal archives. Please do not remove your past. A woman with no face stamps my hand. Her skin is parchment. Her fingers leave ink. Where she touched me, my skin now reads, "One borrower only." As I shuffle to the next room, I see a sign above the entryway. The Chamber of Unread Books. These are the novels, poems, journals, and manuals I never opened in waking life. Each bears my name as the author. I lift one. The cover reads, "How to Forgive Your Father." It smells like wet bark and coffee grounds. The pages are warm. I cannot read them. Every time I focus on a sentence, the letters slide off the page and skitter into the shadows. I hear them laughing. Another book glows faintly. The life you would have lived if you left that day. Inside is a different city, a different spouse, a different dog, named Lemon instead of Buck. He dies differently. That life ends in quiet instead of violence. I leave the room when my hands begin to tremble. The next room reads, "The Index of Lost Hours." Floating in the air are glass orbs, each containing a moment I have wasted. One orb contains me scrolling endlessly on a couch. Another, me in a meeting where I said nothing. Another lying awake, rehearsing an argument I never had. I reach for one marked, "The night you waited for a call that never came." It bursts in my hand and floods the room with a cold wind and the echo of a ringtone. The floor beneath me reconfigures, forming a staircase downwards. I descend. At the bottom is a desk, the size of a ship, covered in books with no titles. Behind it sits the librarian, a being made entirely of bookmarks and glasses with fogged lenses. They speak without sound. I somehow hear them anyway. "You are overdue." What did I borrow? I ask. Time. They slide me a slip of paper. It reads, "Time borrowed, 4,021 days. Time spent wisely, 613 days. Time returned, 0 days." A heavy stamp slams into the paper. The librarian opens a drawer and withdraws a heart. My heart, but made of paper, pulsing weakly, pages fluttering with every beat. "You may continue," they say, "but remember, the library always collects." The next room is listed as the Isle of Impossible Knowledge. This section contains books no mind should hold, with titles like "What Every Stranger Secretly Thinks of You," "The Exact Moment You Will Die," parentheses, "and How," "Proof that you are the villain in someone else's story. What the sky would say if it could speak. And every lie you told and who believed it. I hesitate. One book flutters open on its own. Why you are still lonely. It bleeds ink. I shut it quickly, but some words cling to my hand. Because the version of you they loved never really existed. I try to wipe them off on the carpet. They crawl up my arms. I run. The shelves scream as I pass. I make it into the next room as the shrieking fades. I duck my head back into the hall to see where I'm at. A sign reads, "The Children's Section." It is not childish. It is filled with cribs, swing sets, broken tricycles, and teddy bears that hum lullabies when no one's touching them. Each toy is tagged with a name. I recognize some. I find a copy of "The Boy Who Hid Under the Bed Too Long." Inside are crayon drawings. Me, alone in a room, monsters under the bed, but none outside. The swings move as I walk past. One sings. You once had dreams of flying ships and kingdoms made of toast, but traded them for real-world things, and now you are a ghost. I sit in a tiny rocking chair and cry. Dust falls like snow. My sadness is interrupted by a rush of heat. I'm in the next room without even moving. This room is red and endless. Stacks upon stacks of burning books tumble into the void. Their titles vanish as they burn, like memories being erased. A mechanical claw tosses them one by one into the fire. I see my name on many. One screams as it's thrown in, "The friend you never apologized to." I try to grab it. Too late. The fire eats it, and I feel something unstick in my chest, like a puzzle piece melting. The claw grabs another. "The day you should have said, 'I love you.'" I scream for it to stop, and a door opens. I'm pushed into the next room. Before me, a small booth, dusty, a single bell. A man, no, not a man, something older, forgotten, sits behind it. He wears a name tag that reads, "Hello, I am your future." He gestures. The slip the librarian gave me is in my hand again. "You may return what is left," he says. I offer the paper heart. He shakes his head. "Too damaged." I offer the ink-stained hands. "Already used." He leans forward. "There is one thing you may give," he says, "if you are brave." I ask, "What is it?" He smiles, teeth like hourglasses. "Your certainty." And I understand. I let go of the belief that I know who I am. Everything fades. I awaken back at the threshold, the hallway behind me, the mouth before me. But this time, the mouth closes, not with anger, with finality. I am not the same. I walk into the dark, and I do not need a lantern. Thanks for making it this far and listening to another entry of the Collective Dream Project. If you enjoyed this entry, be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe for future entries. See you next time.